Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Whiteboard Wednesday. My name is Jesse Meekum. I'm the founder of YNABudget.com, and the focus of these is just to kind of give you little tips, tricks, or strategies to help you maximize your use of YNAB, our personal budgeting software. Today I wanted to talk about Paychecks and basically two different ways that you can handle them. I will show you the first way, and then I will show you the way I use, and we can kind of walk through it. The key with Paycheck is kind of basically the answer of a question of how much you want to track. Okay? So one way to do this is using a split transaction. The nice thing about splits in YNAB 3 is that you can have inflows and outflows existing in the same transaction. And that's exactly what happens with a paycheck. For instance, you will have your gross, that would be, let's see, an inflow. Let's say your gross is, for this paycheck, $2,000. Okay? That category would be nothing. Just leave it blank, right? Then you have, because this is all split, but we'll leave that one blank. Then you would have your some kind of a deduction. Let's say you're contributing to your 401k. That could be an out of $200. And if you wanted to, you could track Social Security, Medicare tax, called FICA. We know that if you're following the tax course, and that would be 7.65% of that, but we'll just pretend that it's, for the sake of calculation, $100. And let's say you also have a deduction of maybe like a flexible spending account. So that's deposited, and let's say that's $50. Okay, so you have this $2,000 gross, and then you have normal paycheck deductions going out, and then you have your net, which would be your remaining of this paycheck. So 2,000 less 200 less 100 less 50 gets us to 1,650 of net. Okay, so that's our net amount on our paycheck, and that one would have a category because that's the actual transaction that is hit. Okay, now so that's how it kind of works. Just mentally going through it, you have your different outflows and different inflows. For your split, when you're actually recording it now, you would categorize it as a split, and you would categorize, or you would record that inflow of 1,650. Okay? Then for your actual different transactions, you would have your gross, which would be categorized as, well, you could do several different things, but we'll do it this way. We'll just say that it's income available next month, because you're following, you're living on a buffer, right? So that's income available this month would be your gross. Running out of room here. And then you would have your deductions, and you'd categorize those as well. So your 401k could be a category of 200, and then your Social Security, Medicare, and your FSA, your flexible spending account. So the key on this is when you're recording that transaction, your net amount, that paycheck amount, what actually hits your bank account, that's the top, at the parent level, that's the amount you record there. And then when you get down inside the sub-transaction, you record that 2,000 gross, then the outflow of 200, the outflow of 100, the outflow of 50, and you end up with these transactions that are all categorized and actually affecting your budget. Okay, so that's on the register side, just a nice split transaction. Let's go to the budget side. See if we can remember what our categories were. On the budget side, at the top for available, you would have that 2,000. That was the gross amount that you would put as income available next month. And then down here, you would have, normally our budget's in 3 columns, right? So you'd have your spent amount, you had that 401k, you had the Social Security, and you had the FSA. You recorded all those as actual outflows, so that 401k would be $200 out. Social Security would be $100 out. I think that's what we did. Yeah, and then $50 out for the FSA. So you see how we're kind of, those have already been populated for you because of the transaction we recorded in the register. So then when you actually budget that money, that $2,000 is your gross amount, not what you really have available to spend. So you would just automatically want to enter in those budget amounts, so you'd have no remaining balances there. And now that would change since we entered that $350 budgeted. This number becomes that $1,650, and that is the net amount you have to deal with. So I don't know how much time we've run here, but that seems fairly, I don't know, just kind of like a pain. This is not my preferred method. This is for those people that absolutely must track every single penny and absolutely must record that gross amount and record all those deductions and have that information available for them. I personally think that's kind of a waste of time because HR does a phenomenal job of tracking that for you, and you can just look at your pay stub and see your year-to-date amount and have it there. So I personally don't find a lot of value from doing all this recording. If it were me, my register transaction would have the date. I would categorize income available next month. I'd maybe say who paid me, maybe a memo like first paycheck of the month or something, and then I would do an inflow of $1,650 and be done with it, okay? Then that $1,650 flows automatically up to be available in your budget, and we're back to where we just got. It's just that it didn't take us 5 minutes to get there. So if you track your gross, your gross pay and those deductions, that's fine, and YNAB will do that for you. One of the great benefits of YNAB is that it is so flexible and can accommodate those that are OCD among us. If you want to just save a little more time, keep things a little simpler, just use the net method and record just your net paycheck amount when you pay yourself, and you get to the same place just a little bit quicker. Thanks for watching, and remember to share this with your friends if you think it would help. Thanks to those that are sharing YNAB. We really appreciate it. We're growing quite nicely just basically through word of mouth. So we'll see you next Wednesday, and I guess I'm signing off. Thanks.